All right. John here with Studio Oracles. I have an oracle for a woman who is visiting, or I should say, kind of running in Bali. You're visiting Bali, Indonesia, because you just had this feeling I need to go there just to clear my head. You're a makeup artist in the industry, the movie industry, also in the music industry, and you've been crossing over into other industries. But you went to Bollywood in Bali, feeling that, well, maybe I can make it a go over here. You're actually from America, and the names I was getting was either Braylon, Brandy, um, something like that, those names. So again, like I always say, if the shoe fits you, any part of this, then we are part of the collective whole. If this speaks to you, then take it and run with it. But this is particularly for this individual, but it can be a collective part, or maybe you know this individual that's actually on the run in Bali. And what I mean by that, sometimes we check out because we're feeling disappointed, we're feeling frustrated, and we just want to go to a beautiful place. I happen to be on Maui. I don't believe I'm running from anything. That not used to be the case though. I could say I was running from the call to do this kind of thing for a long time, and there's been some hurt and disappointment on my own life, and then so I just said, wait a minute, I can't run from this. I just want to run towards it and embrace it. And so this is for you, Braylon, Brandy, be something in Bali, and I saw another B around your life, and it wasn't BEE, it was B for biatches. Those those in your life that were acting that way towards you, and you had just called them all the bees, right? And you're just kind of like done with it because you were tired of the caddy thing. You were tired of the going back and forth with this whole competition, competitive issue, especially in the industry, and you were just done. So you're like, well, maybe the mentality is different in Bali, which you know it is, but it's not ringing true to you. So go with what you're sensing and feeling right now. If something doesn't feel like home, it's not home. It's beautiful. You've been enjoying the beauty. You've been going out and having fun in the different bars and restaurants, and you've been trying to dispense this negative energy. Well, it happens. It works for a time, but there's something that's gnawing at you, and it's called your artistry. It's called your calling. It's called your occupation and what you do. It's more than an occupation for you. And that's why it's so troubling when you've been around these others that are just so fake and wearing the persona, the mask of the persona. That's what the word actually means. It means wearing a mask, and you're tired of that whole show. Now, here's the challenge for you listening to this. Um, the challenge is to try and separate the two, the service that you are in your artistry, that you are. It's not something you do, it's just something you are, and you've said this to your closest friends. One of them is Josie, uh, Joey, Joe, something like that. You call her Josie or Jojo, um, and just so that there's some real connection there. They're like, "Oh my gosh, that's my best friend." You've been having this discussion with her and others, and you're like, man, I just can't do this anymore, but I want to help you. I think what the Christ consciousness coming through me is wanting to help you with is to know who is actually responding or reacting in that situation. See, it's the times that we've been traumatized and hurt. When you were a kid, when you were a child, when you're a small girl, there was some things that happened in your immediate family that caused this discouragement to come on your heart, and it hurt your heart because of your artistry. And you're like, look, mommy, look, auntie, look, mommy, look what happened, and look what I created. And they just wanted to nitpick it. And that really hurt your sensitive heart because you're an empath, and that wounded you. And so it's been playing out ever since. See, if you're not awakened and conscious to what is driving your life, you're like, I'm going to show you, I'm going to go right into the movie industry. I'm going to go right into the music industry. I'm going to go right into what I feel is something that is of importance that will really cause me to be successful. Then what is it that's driving you? See, there's a difference between your service that you are the service of artistry in the industry, and distinguishing that between that and your egoic programming or conditioning running and driving your life. So this is a wake up call for you in Bali. What if you beautiful place to awaken, right? Beautiful place to awaken in Bali is to sit there and go, huh, wow. Yeah, I'm starting to see that now. What is driving me? That woundedness as a child. Have I not had some healing in that area? I thought I did, but maybe it goes deeper. This is what drove me over here to run clear over to Bali to think that it would be better over here in this corner of the world. And then you find out there's a lot of constrictions and restrictions, not only on the outward society there, but also inwardly, because your heart really is back in LA. Your heart really is in Nashville. Your heart really is back in those areas. Although there's something to be said about the connection because you are going to make a couple of key connections there in Bali. You're only there for a short while longer. Um, make some connections that will bring you back in the future with a different mindset and a different heart set and the door of opportunity when the timing's right. But right now there's a going back to because you now awaken to this realm of who's answering, reacting for you. See, we have an illusionary I am, which is the egoic structure that says, this is who I am, but it's an illusion because it's all built upon falsehoods and hurt and pain and trauma that tries to build a persona that's not really real because it's a mask. Then you have the other side, the greater part of who you are, which is service, the service of who your spirit is and what you agreed to before you came down here in human skin to bring you into this place of open, wide open spaces of service where you're not attached to the negative comments. You're not attached to the negative vibes that come across social media. You're not attached to the cattery. You're not attached to those things that try to compete and compare. You can't be competed with and can't be compared with anybody else because you're set aside and special and smart and intelligent and beautiful and wonderfully and fearfully made and all those good things that you really are. And then the artistry on top of that is just the service that you are to bring about the best in people. Because that's really your heart, right? Your heart is to bring about the best in people in the industry by making them look their best. For you, it's not about the egoic competition. For you, it's not about who can look better than the other person. You want everybody to equally look beautiful according to their own makeup. Get it? So you're wanting the best for that person, you're wanting the best for the people that you serve, and that's what's actually hurt you the most because some people have not seen it that way. They're just like, "Hurry up, girl. Hurry up and do this thing." And then they get upset with you because you're not moving at warp speed quantum realities like they want you to move because that's what the industry demands. You're wanting to take your time and beautify. That is real service. So some things are going to shift and change by the way of you having divine appointments, synchronicities happen when you go back with this more relaxed, I've dropped into this heart centered space. I'm living from here now. This is what's responding now. The greater part of who I am. I'm not reacting, or I'm responding through responsibility. I have the ability to have response through the greater spirit part of who I am, the heart centered space. So when you live from that space instead of trying to figure everything out in your head, this is when service goes off the charts in such a good way that it'll have handsome rewards. It'll have beautiful dividends. It'll pay you in rewards that you can't even imagine. We're not just talking monetary, although that would happen. It'll expand. It'll go greater. We're talking about the beautification of the soul. And that's really what you do in conjunction with the artistry on the outside of the paint, the makeup, the oils, all of those amazing organic materials that you use that if you only wanted to use the best and the best is coming to you in cartons and crates now and your things are just going to start clicking when you go back and you just say, okay, I'm going to settle into this. I'm not going to allow my head to run my life anymore. I'm going to move from the heart no matter what the cost, no matter who says what and who does what. I'm going to live from the space and overcome it with light. I'm going to overcome from the greater space of light into the current moment and watch how things change for you. All right. That's it for you for now. If this was directly for you, if you know somebody it is for, please email me at studiooraclesinfo@gmail.com. Till next time, aloha.